All right, so this is week 2 of our distance learning here in Try 3. When we come back from spring break at the end of the week, we will be all together in one room for the first time ever, so that's going to be kind of cool. We're just going to finalize this week before spring break the Spanish Civil War, looking at some of the effects, particularly one looking at one of the wars, which applies back to maybe some of your timelines, Guernica. Guernica was kind of an interesting battle because it was truly the first time that basically there was this oncoming type of blitzkrieg warfare used, where you would have this mass kind of bombing of a civilian population and then kind of followed by a takeover, which much of the German Nazi Luftwaffe took part in. But there was also some interesting artwork that Picasso made that came from this, which gives a good perspective of the things to come in World War II and a way to kind of interpret the events in a different manner. We'll talk about that on Monday. For Tuesday, the big thing is going to be getting this reading quiz done, so you can actually start this on Monday. But basically, there is a fairly extensive reading that goes with this, and you'll see that it's going to end up being about 40 pages of reading, and the links are all here. So you need to go through and do this, and you can do the reading and take the quiz at the same time. It's not a summative or anything, but it's just a way to kind of guide your understanding of the reading and the effects of the Spanish Civil War. And then to finish, this is very similar than we've done in the previous units. This is a graphic organizer, basically the same setup that we've done before. You have basic breakdown of the causes, the events of practice, and then the effects. And they're all the same questions. You're just basically kind of doing what you did with the Falklands War, but you're applying ideas of the Spanish Civil War. And we'll start working on this on Monday, and I'll go over some of the questions and give you some ideas of kind of different parts that this goes through. But if you remember, we kind of started with the causes, looking at like a lot of the political ideas that started the Civil War in Spain. A lot of the fighting is going to look back at like kind of the ideas of those timelines that you guys did last week, and then the effects. A lot of that information is going to come from the reading quiz that you're working on. So once you're done with that and have kind of gone through the process of reading, a lot of the information will then be applied in here. So a lot of this stuff should be kind of done for you from previous assignments. You just have to know where to look to find that information. And we'll have that due on Thursday. I want to have everything in by Thursday so you're not working over spring break. Just remember that when we come back, we're going to be all together. So we're going to kind of start transitioning away from this kind of weekly process, and I'll be giving you a little bit more information and work from kind of a major folder. When we come back from spring break, we're going to do our Cause of War project, which is going to take us about 3 weeks. It's kind of an interesting little process where you start to apply some ideas and philosophies of the causes of war in the 20th century to various different wars that have happened that you're going to use as your basis for research. So I hope everybody has a good spring break, and we will see you in April.